Hello, and welcome to Verbling. For the next hour, we are going to be learning about homonyms and homophones. What are homonyms and what are homophones? And we are going to look at numerous examples and do a little practice forming sentences with them to show that we understand the meanings. And discussing homonyms and homophones in general. Now, actually, to introduce a little bit, we'll define them, but homonyms and homophones, I have to tell you, are, okay, maybe they're not the most important thing to learn in English, but I will tell you that they are really good to know about, I don't know, a good part of English humor and jokes, things like puns, for example, and silly, stupid jokes, often involve the use of homonyms and homophones because you have duality, you have different meanings, so you create ironic statements and statements with double meanings and double entendres, and so while they may not be really enormously essential for English language learning, I think they are completely, absolutely essential for learning humor in English, actually. We use a lot of homonyms and homophones in jokes, especially puns. Okay, welcome back, Hussein. Hello, hello again. Hussein, you there?
Hello, good morning again.
Morning again. Hello, Heidi again.
Hello, nice to meet you again.
All right.
You crashed in the airport.
What?
Airplane. Asiana airplane crashed in
An
runway in Japanese airport.
Another?
Yeah. So I was watching TV, TV news.
What's going on with Asian Airlines? I'm not flying anywhere. I'm not moving. Okay, anyway. All right, I'll have to check that out in my lunch hour. All right, Carlos. Hey, Carlos.
Hello, please. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome to the class. Good to see you again. And greetings to Vienna. Hello, Vienna. And goodbye, Vienna. Try again. If at first you don't succeed, Vienna, come on back. Give it a try. If you can. Love to have you in the class. In fact, plenty of room in the class. Anybody wants to join, come on in and join us. We're going to talk about homonyms and homophones. Okay. Vienna, are you connected? Vienna, if you manage to get your whatever, your connection or your settings right, just feel free to shout out and say hello, teacher, so I know that you're actually, I'll respond to you, I promise, so I know that we can actually communicate. I can see you're trying. Okay, let's, I'm going to do a little screen share here. I got a little PPT presentation to share with you guys. All right, homonyms. Homonyms are words that have the same spelling and the same pronunciation, but they have different meanings. Okay, here is a long list of them. Okay, so let's look at some examples. Hussein, address. Now, okay, it has the same spelling and pronunciation, but there's at least two different, completely different meanings. Can you give me 2 sentences with address. Simple. Keep it simple if you can, as simple as you can. Do you know? Can you give me a sentence with address?
Sentence with address. I live in Baku, Baku, Azerbaijan. Very simple sentence.
Okay, that's my address. All right, where you live? Your address. All right, I live at 32 Oak Street, Sampaguita Street, whatever. Right, in your city and province and what have you. Okay. Do you know another meaning for address?
Maybe
Or address?
maybe base.
Well, another meaning is which the other meaning can be a noun or a verb. The president gave an address to the Congress. He gave like a speech, or he addressed me as Teacher Oakley. Okay, he spoke to me. Actually, now I'm talking about 3 meanings. He addressed, the president addressed Congress. He spoke to them. He gave an address, a speech. So when we use address, the noun that that you're speaking of, Hussein, you know, 31 Oak Street, blah blah blah. That's a noun. It's always address. When we same pronunciation, same thing. The president gave an address to the Congress. Same pronunciation, same word. However, I do want to point out when we use it as a verb, he addressed me. Notice my change in pronunciation. I changed the stress from the first syllable to the second syllable. He addressed me. Okay. Anyway, so there are a lot of words in English, 2-syllable words that can be a noun or a verb. Not always. It's not an absolute rule, more like a guideline, but usually we stress the first syllable when it's a noun and the second syllable when it's a verb. Okay, anyway. Heidi, how about arm? What are 2 meanings of arm?
The soldier hold arms by the arm.
In one sentence, she killed them both. Excellent. I challenge anybody to do that in the rest of the lesson. Okay, very good. Arms are those appendages at the sides of your body, extending from your shoulders, of course. Those are your arms. Arms are also weapons. That's right. Very good. Okay, all right, so I'm impressed. She used one sentence to illustrate both of them. Okay. Carlos, how about book? Can you use book in a
Yes.
sentence?
Yes, I book a table in the library and then I read a book.
Okay, excellent. Very good. Book the table, all right, verb. You reserved a table, okay, using it as a verb, and then you read a book. Excellent. Perfect.
Sorry, I have question about arm. Arm we know part of body, and you said weapon. Weapon is weapon.
Weapon.
Arm.
Yes.
What?
Usually when we say as a noun, I have to say a weapon. We usually say arms. Okay. Okay. Just arms as a weapon, but as a verb, to arm. To arm a soldier, you're going to give him a weapon.
Understand. Army.
Very close to army. Obviously, very much related to army. Yeah. Okay. He's armed and dangerous. That's an adjective. All right. He's got weapons, and he's dangerous. Okay.
Maybe wood weapon, meaning wood weapon, weapon. Uh, for example, wood rifle,
Any.
wood any. Okay, thank you.
You could say he's armed with a very sharp pencil, Hussein.
Yes, maybe.
Maybe. It's okay. You know, you could be armed with nuclear weapons. You could be armed with a very sharp pencil. Okay, so it doesn't matter degree. All right, Vienna, are you? I see you're trying and trying and trying. Are you? I see you've unmuted yourself, but again, I can't hear you, unfortunately. I don't think that was you. Vienna, I am really sorry, but I can't. I seem unable. You can hear me, but I cannot hear you. If you want to, Vienna, you can write me 2 sentences with back. Okay, right. You clearly have issues with your microphone or audio. Okay, in the meantime, Vienna, if you want, write me 2 sentences with back to show me 2 different meanings. Go ahead and do that, and while you're doing that, I'm going to say hello to Nada.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, Nada. How are you?
Good, and you?
I'm fine. I'm great. Is this the Nada who used to be in my classes? I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, welcome back. Nice to see you. Okay.
Thanks.
All right. Yes, Vienna with back. 2 sentences with back that give me 2 different meanings. Okay. While he's doing that, Nada, can you give me
Yes.
2 sentences with bank to show me 2 meanings? I can actually think of 3 meanings.
With 2 meanings?
Yeah, well, you can give me 1 sentence with 1 meaning and another sentence with another.
Okay. My friend went to the bank yesterday.
Okay. To get money. Probably. I'm guessing. Okay. You mean the bank where people save their money or borrow money, right? Okay. Nada, are you still there? I think we've lost Nada. Nada? Some strange things going on today. Okay. All right. Okay, Hussein, can you think of another? Okay, her friend went to the bank to borrow some money, I'm going to say, meaning the place, the financial business.
Maybe
Can
bank
you,
words,
what's that?
bank for words in the computer bank.
A computer bank. All right, I stored the data in a computer bank.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. That's another meaning I didn't even think of. We also, okay, anybody else in class? Actually, let me open it up to the class. Can anybody think of another meaning for bank? Because I can think of at least.
Both of riverside, a little higher place.
Well, you mean like a river bank?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, and the river bank, a very common co-location, the sides of a river, the banks of a river. Can anybody think of another one? For bank?
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Can
Hang
you
on.
hear?
Vienna? Yes, like now we can.
Yes. Now, yeah.
Hi. Finally. Okay. Vienna, all right. Okay, we'll come back to bank in a second. All right, you had bank. I hurt my back. Very good. What's another? Can you make another sentence with back?
Okay. Um,
Different meaning, of course.
okay. My dog plays in my backyard.
Yeah, on your backyard. Okay. Yeah, I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to use the adjective. All right.
Okay.
Okay, but I do have to say backyard is one word in English. So, but okay. The
Okay. I
dog,
walk.
your dog jumped over the back fence. There.
Okay.
Okay, so as an adjective, all right. Okay. What does it mean, Vienna, if you're going to back Hillary Clinton for president? What does that mean? I will back Hillary Clinton for president, which is not necessarily true, by the way. Do you know what that means?
Hello?
Hello? Do you know what that means when I say I will back Hillary Clinton for president?
Okay. I think means relation or try another time to find the president.
Well, actually, it means you will support her. So if you back Hillary Clinton, for example, I think some famous movie star, I don't know, Angelina Jolie announced that she would back Hillary Clinton for president. She's saying that she supports her, whether that at least publicly, in speaking, maybe financially, who knows, whatever. But you support someone, you back them. All right. So another meaning. Okay. Bank. We had a couple three meanings. Anybody? Okay. We've already said bank, the institution, the financial institution. Bank, like riverbank, a higher piece of ground. That's right. Can anybody think of another meaning for bank?
Maybe he claimed the bank to reach the highest shelf.
He climbed the bank.
I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe pull up or something.
I don't know about that one. I don't know. I'm not sure what you're thinking of. Step stool or ladder, or I'm not sure, but or banquette. There's kind of a thing you rest your feet on called a banquette. So I'm not sure about that one. Oh, we also had computer bank. Okay, an actual storage unit. I'm not sure about that one, Carlos.
Okay.
I'm not very confident about that one. Has anybody here ever played billiards or pool? Anybody? Anybody a billiards player? Shoot a little 8-ball? No? Okay. Well, one of my favorite shots in billiards is a bank shot. You hit the ball against the side of the table and make it reflect or bounce off. That's a bank shot. So a bank shot is something that bounces off. In hockey, you could bank it off the side of the rink. All right, it bounces off something else. You could smash your car into the side of a building, and your car would bank off the side of the building and bounce back into the road. That's also use of bank. Okay. Starting again, beginning at the beginning. Starting over again. Let's do one more round, and then we're going to move on. Hussein, can you give me a word for bark? Sentence using bark.
In our classes, I all the time heard a bark of dogs.
Okay, dogs barking. In your closet? What?
Yes, yes.
Why do you hear barking dogs in the closet?
I don't know where, but I heard all the time.
Okay, I just have to say that's a little odd. All right. Do you know another meaning of bark, Hussein?
Bark, another meaning, part of tree.
Yes. Very
Part
good.
of
Now,
surface, maybe.
right, the surface or the outside of a tree is the bark.
Outside of it.
Yeah. Very good. Excellent. I'll give you another one. All right. I bet you no one here knows another meaning for bark, which is a verb. If you bark your shins, I barked my shins on the radiator. I barked my shins on the couch. Another meaning, very obscure. If your shins are the lower front of your legs, if you bark your shins, you smash them, you hit them, painfully usually. You bark your shins, you smack them against something. You bark your shins, you stub your toe. So if you hit your toe, you stub it. If you hit your shins, you bark it. All right, another much more obscure use for the same word. So some of these homonyms, quite clearly, have at least two meanings. Some of them have 3, 4, 5.
Maybe a bark is a kind of boat or something.
Well, it's used as a well, there's a bark canoe. It's a type of boat. You may be thinking of embark, the verb, which means to leave in a boat or leave in any kind of craft. You embark on an airplane. Maybe you're thinking of that. And maybe there's another obscure meaning I don't even know. I'm not sure. Heidi, how about base? Can you give me
flowers in the base and put them on the base of the pillar.
Okay, the base of the pillar. Well, wait a minute. Base of the pillar, I'm with you on that one. A solid foundation for something is a base, of course. But she put the flowers. Do you mean a vase?
Vase?
Vase or base? Those are two different words. Vase. You
Vase.
put flowers in a vase.
Oh, vase. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Base. Think sports.
Sport, the first base.
Yeah, first base. Second base. Third, baseball, of course. Mm-hmm. The players must run around the bases. Yeah. Okay. Very good. All right. Carlos, how about that?
The cave was full of bats.
Yeah, okay. The cave was full of bats.
I hit them with a bat.
All right. And so you hit the bats with a bat. All right. A bat, a club-like stick, of course. Okay, great. Quick shout out and welcome to Ibec. Welcome to the class, Ibec.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome. I'll come around to you in just a minute. Let me go to Vienna. Vienna, beam. Huh.
Beam.
Yeah. Can you use that in a sentence?
Beam.
Bat.
What's a beam?
Beam is lights.
Okay.
Light that is superfied.
Okay. A light, a strong,
Okay.
strong line of light, like a sunbeam or a beam from a flashlight. Okay. A beam of light, of course. What's another meaning for beam?
Only low.
Okay. A beam is also a very strong, usually wooden, long piece of wood, which often may support the entire roof. Or it's usually horizontal. A beam is part of construction of usually a house, usually made of wood. It's one of the main supporting structures in a house. It is called a beam. So, okay, and there's another meaning. If you're a builder, you would definitely know what a beam was. Okay, Nada.
Yes.
We don't really need to look at the
Sorry,
plural.
the network is not working well.
It's okay. No problem. We've all been having issues today. I'm not sure what the problem is, but anyway, Nada, board.
Okay.
Can you use board in a sentence?
The teacher always writes on the board
Okay, very
to
good.
explain the difficult things.
Okay, so you're talking about a chalkboard or a whiteboard. Okay, fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair enough. Can you think of another sentence with another meaning of board?
All of the passengers are on the board right now.
Okay, except you can say they're on board right now. Okay. You need to board the plane immediately. Okay, get on board. Right. Okay, very good. Okay, that's right. So you board the aircraft, you board the ship, you get on. All right. Excellent. Can anyone think of other meanings for board? Because there definitely are other meanings for board. I can think of at least two. Anyone? No? Of course, you use boards to build a house. You would probably have boards going across the beam to make a roof. Boards are flat, long, flat pieces of wood. Also, we're going to have to ask the board to vote on the new rule. Board, like board meeting. Okay, the head of the board can be a group of officers in a company or any organization, really. It can be the board. Also, what does it mean if I stay in a bed and breakfast and I pay for my room and board?
with your meals.
That's it. My room obviously is my room, and my board. Board can also mean meals. Very good. Excellent. So there was at least 5 meanings for board. There may be more. I don't know. I can't think of any right now. But okay, Ibec, how about number 12? How about bolt? Can you make a sentence with bolt?
Bolt. I think it's like a lock or costly.
Okay, like a lock. That's right. You can bolt the door. It can be a verb or a noun. Slide the bolt into the lock. Very good. And what else?
I saw in the translation probably we could use this one when we not support one of the candidate, yeah?
This I don't know. I don't know about that. That's an odd one for me. I'm not quite sure what you mean. There may be really obscure meanings I don't know. I don't know everything.
Yeah, I see. But in translation, I'm looking at that and can see second meaning when we use both in a situation when we not support a candidate of our party.
Yeah, I don't know that one at all. I've never heard that in my life, quite honestly. Does it have an example?
No.
Okay, I have no idea. I've never heard that concept before. Could just be extremely obscure. I don't know, but yes, Nada.
Could you explain more what is the meaning of bolt?
Sure. The first example was, okay, I have a bolt on my door. You slide a little piece of metal. Usually you have to lift it up. You bolt the door. That's the strong piece of metal that locks your door. It is a bolt. Okay. It can be a verb or a noun. You need to bolt the door. There's many criminals in the area, or that is the bolt. It is part of the lock. It's the metal part that actually slides across and prevents the door from opening. Now, Ibec had a meaning about something about not supporting a candidate. I have no idea about that one, quite honestly. I've never heard that before. I don't know. Ibec, do you know another meaning? Because I know at least 3 other meanings for bolt.
No.
Okay. Have you ever heard of a lightning bolt? A bolt of lightning. Zap. Thunder and lightning storm. When the electricity goes down and you can see it with your eyes, we call that a lightning bolt or a bolt of lightning. That's a bolt. A bolt is also, okay, I think, is that Carlos? Yes. Little pieces of metal we use in conjunction with a nut to hold things together. It's like a screw. It rotates around and it rotates into a nut, a hex nut, and it fastens things together. Exactly. Also a bolt. Very common. Nuts and bolts. Very common. People who build things use nails, they use screws, they use nuts and bolts. Very good. A bolt is also another name for an arrow. Clear and simple. It's a pure synonym for an arrow is also a bolt. A bolt is also a slang word that means to go quickly. I'm sorry, I've got to go to work. I'm already late. I have to bolt. To bolt is to go quickly. Actually, that's not even slang. The antelopes bolted when the lion appeared. Go very fast. To bolt. But it's used in slang for humans sometimes. Okay, multiple meanings. All right, so those are homonyms. And actually, one of our words here, at least one of our words, Okay, the only one I can see right now. Board is also a homophone. We may come back to homonyms. Homonyms are like twins. They look alike, they sound alike, but they're not the same. They have the same meanings. Those are homonyms. Here's another load of them here. Maybe we'll come back to these. But sometimes, okay, homonyms can be used in jokes. Okay, here's a little cartoon. So we use these homonyms and homophones a lot in English humor because mean one thing, say another. Here's a silly little cartoon. Do not consume if seal is broken. Why?
The seal is referring to maybe a bottle of
That's
bad
exactly
mean or something.
right. This is an extremely common warning label on things like, I don't know, peanut butter. Do not consume if seal is broken. So it'll have a little plastic around the top of the peanut butter jar, and you're not supposed to eat it because maybe somebody broke into it or poisoned it or something. If the seal is broken, you do not consume. Consume, eat. But here also, of course, the seal is an animal. All right, silly. Okay. All right. Another silly joke. Brace yourselves, man. He's in a comma. He's in an apostrophe, Stan, not a comma. He said comma instead of coma. You see the silly joke here. Instead of saying he's in a coma, he's in a comma. All right, let's... Sorry. Silly humor. Homophones are words that are pronounced the same, sounds exactly the same, but they have different meanings and spellings. Before we look at examples, can anybody in class give me an example of a word or words that are homophones? Totally different spellings, different meanings, but they sound the same. Can anybody think of an example? Hussein?
I can say, and you know, I all the time confuse these words and maybe sometimes afraid use. You know, English speaking for English speaking people not difficult, and all the time I confuse this word. They guy and gay.
Guy and gay.
And gay. You know, I know. Yeah, really. And I know meanings. In written I confuse and I try to not
Okay.
use these words.
Okay, well, I can see
And
where
gay.
I can certainly see where that would lead to trouble. However, those are not true homophones because they are, of course, pronounced differently. Guy, gay, ga, I, totally different. Homophones sound exactly the same.
Maybe buy to buy something and buy to goodbye.
Do you say buy, B-U-Y, and B-Y? Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. That's a homophone. Spelled differently. I want to buy a new sweater. He went by my house in the morning. Totally different meanings. Right. That's the idea of a homophone. Great. Exactly. Okay. Okay, they can cause misinterpretations, and sometimes, well, we use them in jokes all the time in English. But, okay, if you look at the flu, great. There's another one. Thank you, Carlos. You got it. The bird flew. I caught a flu. Okay. So, Ibeck, not quite. Okay, actually, Ibeck. All right, Ibeck brings up the example quite and quiet. This is a very common mistake, so I'm so glad you brought it up because many people with all kinds of first languages make this same exact mistake. Totally, I see this all the time. These are not homophones. They are, in fact, pronounced quite differently. Quite. The first one, quite, is one syllable. Quiet is two syllables. We separate the I and the E in the word with a Y sound. So it's actually two syllables. Quiet. Totally different pronunciation, but many people make the mistake of trying to pronounce them identically. They're not. So thanks for bringing that one up. Nada, do you have something you wanted to say? Okay. I just heard some sound from your microphone. Okay, here we see a little cartoon. Again, how homonyms are used in humor. Hello there, I'll be your server today. Sorry about your wait. And the customer says, it wasn't long at all. Why is this funny? Why is this supposed to be funny? Vienna, the waiter, says, I'll be your server. Sorry about your wait.
Okay, try to understand.
What is the humor here? Why is this funny?
The server say, sorry about the wait.
Yes. Well, no. Okay. He says wait. He's thinking wait. How much you weigh? You weigh 100 kilograms. All right. Your weight. 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 That's it. But the customer thinks they mean wait. WAIT. How long you have to sit there. So,
okay, I understand.
All right. So the server's insulting the guest, but the guest doesn't even know they're being insulted because
No.
here's the homonym.
Talk about time.
Okay. All right. All right. Nada. Here we have combinations of homonyms and homophones to make a little tongue twister. Nada. You want to
Yes.
try this? Go ahead and try this.
Two Rex, two Nix, two Nix, Tonix, Ton Hicks.
Okay. Two Nicks, two Nicks, two Nicks, two Nicks, two Nicks. That's right. Actually, the first one is not Ricks, it's Nicks. Two Nicks, two Nicks, two Nicks, two Nicks, two Nicks. Okay, what the heck? Does that make any sense? First of all, okay, Nada, two
Yes.
Nicks. What are the first Nicks? Two Nicks. What does that mean? Do you know what a Nick
Two
is?
Nix, two shirt.
Okay, now the first one, a nick. A nick is a small piece, small damage. Usually, it's a little piece cut out, but it can be any kind of small damage. A nick. If I throw a rock at you and it barely touches you, I nicked you. Okay, just to hit very slightly. So when something is nicked, it's damaged very slightly. So the first one is two nicks,
Yeah.
two small scratches. All right, the next one, two nicks. What does that mean? Two nicks, possessive. Nick is a name.
Name.
A very common name. Nick is short for Nicholas. It's very common. All right. The next two Nicks. What are Nicks? K-N-I-C-K-S. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Sorry. No idea?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's okay. I'm sure someone here does. Any of you guys know?
It is a basketball team.
It's a basketball team, the New York Knicks. Look, we've got Patrick Ewing's New York. All right. They have blue uniforms with orange writing, so that's actually correct. To Knicks, there we go. Tunics. Tunics is another word for a shirt. And he's talking to Tune Hicks. Tune. Musical. One's listening to music. One has a little, I don't know, fiddle or something. Hicks. Hicks are people from the countryside, kind of uneducated people from the countryside. So there you go. This is a combination of Nicks being homophones, Nicks, 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 and even combination of two Nicks is a homophone of two. Two. Obviously, two is a homophone because we have two as in too many, we have two as in one, two, and we have two as in the preposition two. And then actually, we have, do you know, Ibeck, do you know what a ballerina's uniform is? Do you know what a ballerina's uniform is called?
Yes, I don't know how to call it. I know how it's look like.
You know what it looks like. Okay.
What it look like, yeah. But
What
I
it
don't
looks
know
like.
how to call that.
Okay. It's called a tutu. So there you go. Lots of homonyms. Tutu. I bought two tutus too. Okay. All right. So it makes for not okay. Hussein was saying he gets confused and nervous about this, but frankly, so native speakers use these to tell jokes to make. Well, here we go. We're looking at cartoons. Idle. Here's another one. Idle means lazy. Idle means a popular person, usually admired for their skills or for their abilities, like singing and dancing. Of course, I'm sure most of you have heard of American Idol. But do they mean American Idol or American Idol? I don't know. Okay. All right. Are you an idol or are you idle? Okay, here's another one, another example. Patients. Patients, plural. A doctor's client, more than one, are patients. And patient, to be patient, to wait calmly, or to be calm. In trouble, okay. These two phrases would be spoken exactly, pronounced exactly the same. I lost my patience, I lost my patience. These two words, although they're spelled differently, sound exactly the same.
But depends on the context.
Of course.
Understand what is the correct sentence.
That's right. So you have to understand the context. So when this comes up in humor in English, we create a joke, we create a context. Often, the joke part is you create a context where either could be spoken, and it would make sense either way. So it seems funny, at least to us, to English speakers, because it could mean other way. It could be correct either way you want to interpret it. So here's another homonym: wine and wine. Actually, this is a fairly standard joke for English speakers. When somebody's whining with an H, they're complaining a lot. A very standard English retort would be, would you like some cheese with that wine? Because wine and cheese go together. Wine, W-I-N-E. Okay. So this is a fairly standard kind of sarcastic response when somebody is complaining too much. Really? Would you like some cheese with that wine? Yeah. Okay. We think it's funny. It's a very common part of English language humor. I'm so bored. Okay. Why is this funny? Okay. Hussein, what is funny about this cartoon on the left? I'm so bored, I really wish something fun would come along. Okay.
I don't know.
You
Out
don't
of my
know.
depth. Out
You're
of my
out of your depth. Okay,
Yes.
because it's a homonym, of course. Board means a wooden long piece of wood. You see a picture of a long piece of wood there. Bored. I'm so bored. Of course he's a board. He's a long piece of wood. But he's saying the phrase as in bored, B-O-R-E-D, as in I'm not entertained. I'm so bored. Ha ha ha. Of course, he's a bored. He's a bored. And then he says, I really wish something fun would come my way. He says would as in a pre instead of would, the modal verb would. All right. Yeah, non-English speakers never understand this part of humor, but it's about half of English humor has to do with what's called wordplay, these kinds of things. Okay, I dyed my hair died. Okay, died and died. Okay, here's an actual joke. It rains cats and dogs, but it doesn't rain deer. Ha ha ha. Okay. Okay, here's a stupid joke. Carlos, what do you call a deer? What's another? Okay, let me remember the joke. Hang on. What do you call a deer that's blind? A deer that is blind.
A deer blind?
A deer which is blind. What do you call a deer which is blind?
I don't know.
You don't know? So you have no eye deer. Okay. Yeah, Carlos has no eye deer. Okay, he's blind, no eyes. Get it? All right. Stupid
Yeah.
English humor. Okay. All right. Here's a lot of other examples. Ad and ad, AD, commercial, ADD. All right. Sometimes they're like two, I can mean yes. I is the thing in your head you see with. You're to speak about yourself. 8 and 8. Okay. Vienna.
Yes.
Vienna. Why was 6 afraid of 7? Why was 6 afraid of 7?
7. So, I understand you.
You don't understand. This is okay. This is You can just say, I don't know. I'm telling you a joke. This is English. This is homonyms. This is how we use it. Does anybody know? Why was 6 afraid of 7? Nobody knows? Because 7, 8, 9. You don't get it. 8 can sound like
Okay,
8
yes.
because 7, 8, 9. All right. English is full of these stupid little jokes. All right. We tell these silly jokes to ourselves over and over and over again, especially when you're kids, but even adults love these kinds of silly word plays. And sometimes they can be quite witty, and when you have double entendres, double meanings, can be extremely funny and quite highbrow, not like 7, 8, 9. That's quite juvenile and childlike, but we do these same kinds of things to make very elaborate situational, create ironies, where either way could be correct. All right.
If I tell some
Sorry?
if I tell some of these jokes to somebody else, maybe they kick me.
Maybe
They
they'll
slap,
kick you. Yeah.
slap me in
These,
the head.
these are basically corny jokes, okay? The ones I'm sharing with you, I'm trying to give you really simple ones so you get the idea of how homonyms and homophones very much relate to humor in English quite a lot. Okay. Okay, well, all right. Flour is another common one. People get confused about this. Flour, you cook with flour, a plant. Sell and sell. Okay, in, war and war. War is into where. Okay, anyway. There you go. Those are all examples of homonyms, words that sound the same. Okay. I'm starving, so I've got to go eat now. So thank you very much, everyone, and I'll say goodbye, and I'll see you next time on Verbling. I hope you learned a little bit about homonyms and homophones. Bye-bye.
See you soon.
Yes, please.
See you soon. Bye for now.